kitchen guru. Trish is joining me in the kitchen today, and of course that means we're cooking with chocolate.
Quite right.
What have you got for us today, Trish?
This is one of my all-time favourites. This is a marbled brownie.
Yum. Let's get started so we can taste these.
Okay, all right. The first thing is to combine brown sugar, some butter.
Brownies are one of those things that we all love to make because they last for a while, don't they? Because they stay kind of moist.
Well, they are. I guess that one part of it is the fact that the first part of the mixture, rather than creaming butter and sugar as we would for a cake, you actually heat those ingredients together. And what I have here is a block of Cadbury dark baking chocolate, and I need 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 25. There we go.
It's a good, easy measurement for you. So
That's
they come
right.
in blocks of 20 grams?
That's right. Each row is worth 20 grams. So you can either break it into the pips or chop the chocolate. And all we need to do with this is to actually allow it to melt. Stir it until the butter and the chocolate has melted, just over a medium heat. You have to be careful that it doesn't actually burn in the pan.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on that. We definitely don't want it to burn.
No,
so
certainly not. Oh, that's a little warm. I can hear a sizzle going on there. OK, so that's ready to go. What we need to do is to pour it into the bowl here. And what I might get you to do, Justine, is just to crack 3 eggs and just mix them together.
In a bowl before we put it in?
Yes, please.
Great.
There we go.
1, 2. Ooh.
A little
Not
bit
the best crack I've ever done in my life.
Extra crunch.
3. OK, so I'm just going to give them a quick stir.
That'll do.
And straight in?
Yep, that's fine. Once that mixture's cooled down just slightly, you can add the eggs, and it becomes quite a lovely sort of gooey mixture now. Now we need to add some sifted dry ingredients. So I've got a little bit of flour. There we go.
So much easier when there's 2 people.
Many hands make light work, as they say.
Right.
And you need the cocoa too.
Some cocoa, yes. How much cocoa would you like?
1/3 of a cup of the Warrenville cocoa. When you're using cocoa like this, it's important that you sift it with the dry ingredients and 1/4 of a teaspoon of the bicarb baking powder, I should say.
And that'll just help it rise slightly. There we go.
Right. And that way all the mixture becomes combined. Sometimes you'll find in the cocoa there are little lumps, and that's because the cocoa attracts moisture. So whenever you're storing it at home, it's always wise to put it in an airtight container. Thank you. So just mix that together. Then what we need to do is to pour this mixture into the pan.
Get the pan for you. And so that's just a bit of baking paper. We've greased it first, and then I love how you do this. You just quickly nip the corners of it so it just sits nice and snug.
Yeah, you just lay the piece over and then sort of cut where you think the corners will be. And then once you grease it, it'll hold it down really nicely. Right, so once that's ready, we can add that to the pan. So that looks beautiful.
Nice and glossy.
Rich and glossy. And that's the addition of the chocolate and also the cocoa that makes it that lovely, rich and dark colour. Brownies have been around for a long, long time. They originated, strangely enough, in the US, which I guess is what we'd expect, but they actually used to use brownies as an addition to a packed lunch because they were so fudgy and soft and gooey. They didn't dry out like a normal cake would. Now what we need to do is just to get the marbled part of this going. At this stage, we could actually cook it as it is. That's 250 grams of Philadelphia light spreadable, and we need to add an egg to that and a little bit of sugar.
OK, 1 egg. Let's see how this crack goes this time. Oh, that's a bit better. And a little bit of sugar in there.
And we just need to mix that until it's smooth. That should do it.
That's it.
That's it.
Nice
So
and
you
easy.
just need to bring it together.
So now for the marbling stage, show us your technique. So we want about that much?
Yeah, maybe a little less.
Oh, a little bit less.
Maybe a little less.
And just dollop it?
Yeah, you can just pop it in.
OK.
There you go. So you just basically dot that around the mixture, and then some of it will already sink into the mixture and some of it will actually sort of make a swirly pattern with, so it looks really pretty.
Do you know what I like, Trish? Hot brownies straight from the oven with a little bit of cold, cold ice cream.
Yum.
Maybe we can have that with it.
And a little bit of chocolate sauce.
A little bit of chocolate sauce. Okay.
So what you can do is sort of swirl it through a little so that you get it through the mixture first. And then I like to sort of run the knife backwards and forwards through it to sort of really mix it up.
And that's the thing, when you're doing... There's
psychedelic.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're doing this, it's important to do those dollops first and then start doing that, or else you just don't want it to mix all together, because then you'll get sort of a cafe au lait sort of colour.
That's right.
You want it to be chocolate and white.
You don't get the definition of the two colours if you mix it up too much. So that's ready to go. That'll go into a moderate oven, 180 Celsius in a conventional oven, or 160 in fan forced, for around about 35 minutes.
Okay, we'll cook them and then we can turn them out.
Well, there it is from the oven, cooled down, ready to cut.
It looks very dramatic with that psychedelic swirl in it.
It does. And it will taste dramatically delicious. There we go.
Comes out perfectly, nice and easy.
That's the beauty of the lining.
Do you want me to give you a knife?
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want that knife, a serrated or just a
Might have that one,
standard?
I think.
Yeah.
Now, I have to do this at home because there's always a couple of pairs of fingers waiting to try, to try the edge. You like to get the nice cut edge. So...
They are moist, aren't they?
Yeah, they're beautiful.
And dense. And the chocolate is so good in that. Yummy. Not too small, Trish. I'm only joking. I'm being very greedy. So we just place them on this very pretty purple plate here. Trish, one for you, one for me. Absolutely love them. They're so moist, that's the most important thing. They're going to last for... How long do you think they'll last for?
Well, it depends how many people are around. They'd last, a good 3 or 4 days, I would think.
I was setting myself up for that. They won't last very long at all because they are absolutely delicious.
You might have to hide them, I think.
Absolutely.